Hello, everyone. This is the most intelligent and magnificent bird, Beak, speaking to you today. And in today's video, I'm going to do something I haven't done while recording. I'm going to do a little bit of challenge run. Just maybe only 5 stages of whichever one's available. And not only will I be doing that, I'm also going to be talking spoilers for Chapter 7 of the Quarry. And there's a lot here, so that's why I'm not going to do much challenge run. And before we get started, I hope all of you are doing good and staying safe out there. I'm doing good and I'm staying safe for the most part. So let's take a look at challenge run and see which ones are available. Strong is probably my best option out of those two. I haven't even really done challenge run in I don't even know how long. So let's get the Negan lead for sure. And Aaron, that'll work. Let's just do 5 of these. Don't worry, you guys will know. I will definitely let you guys know when I'm about to talk spoilers for the Quarry, because for those that don't want to stick around and get it spoiled for them, absolutely understandable. For those that want to stick around, you're in for a treat. It's really starting to pick up for sure. Like I had mentioned, Chapter 7 is a flashback chapter. There's definitely some bit of action. It's mostly information dialogue to kind of make sense of what's going on, right? I will say that, and that's all I'll say. That's why I'm not going to try to talk a whole lot, because I do have a lot here. Now, for challenge run, I'm just doing this to do something different. Even though I'm not sure how many people still do challenge run. I'm not too sure on that, but I haven't really done challenge run while recording before. And I'll be honest, I have no idea when I'll upload this, but it won't be too long. This could be a weekend upload, perhaps. Alright, that is going to do it for the challenge run portion of the video. So, if you want to go ahead and go now to avoid spoilers, you may go ahead and do that. I do thank you for stopping by and for your continued support. In 3, 2, 1. Okay. For those that have chosen to stick around, we're going to be talking about the Quarry, Chapter 7. Chapter 7 is a flashback chapter, and it's pretty much heavy dialogue info about trying to make sense of what's happening with the werewolves and stuff, right? So, here we go. Chapter 7, Chapter 7 starts with Dylan and Ryan asking Laura where she's been for the last 2 months, and she replies with, "Oh, we came here one night early. That was our mistake." So she admits, they made a mistake. Absolutely. So here we go with Chapter 7. Laura wakes up in a jail cell on the night of the prologue. That same cop from the prologue is dragging Max into another cell. So it turns out Max survived. I initially thought he got killed by that werewolf, but he survived. And let me see, I got it right here. I got 2 pieces of paper, so just hang with me. Okay. So on the so the cop has already put Max into his cell, and he walks up to our cell and he says, "Ma'am, it's gonna get a little messy." He walks off, and Max is transforming into a werewolf, but we don't get to see that. We just see the blood splatter on the wall. So yeah, Max got bit, obviously, so now Max is a werewolf. And now it's like I said, I got 2 pieces of paper here. Okay, so it's the next morning, and the cop takes Laura into interrogation, asking her questions about why they were there, whose relationship, and just asking her a bunch of standard questions, kind of weird though at the same time. And it turns out that the cop that kidnapped us is the sheriff of this little town called North Kill. And not only is he the sheriff of the town, his name is Travis Hackett, Chris Hackett's brother. Yes. And Travis Hackett is played by Ted Raimi, Sam Raimi's brother. And I have to say that Ted Raimi, at this point in the game, he gives one of the best acting performances out of any of the characters up to this point. Oh man, his acting performance, it's great. For this type of game, it's really great. And so let's see if I missed anything on this other. Okay, alright, here we go. Okay, let's see. So yeah, the cop is the sheriff of the town, and his brother is Chris Hackett. So Travis and Chris Hackett are brothers, obviously. And some time passes again. It's nighttime once again. Travis comes to get Laura out of her cell, handcuffs her to a chair in front of Max's cell, and he specifically, clearly says, "I'll be back at dawn, and do not get too close. You'll be fine as long as you don't get too close." And he leaves, and he's transforming once again. I think this is probably about a month later. So, yeah, so he's transforming once again. And, yeah, she, of course, she gets real close. He's a werewolf, and Max ends up scratching her eye out, and it's pretty gnarly. It's nasty. I'm not gonna lie. It's, ugh. So that happens. She frees herself. She goes and gets her eye hole, taken care of, and she gets a gauze pad and all that over her eye, and you can choose to look around and stuff, which, or you can go right back to your cell and miss an eye and all. So the next morning, Travis comes back to see that Laura is missing an eye, and you notice Travis, he has this blood all over his face, so I think it's pretty clear he went out hunting that night, just like those two other hunters, and he compliments Laura's cleaning skills of the wound. And let's see, where am I at here? Okay, he scratches. Okay, here we go. He says, he sits down in the same chair that Laura was in. He says, "We didn't mean to hurt anyone. We're just trying to survive like everybody else. We are going to end this." So very mysterious right there. And so yeah. So we got that. And next, Travis hands Laura a piece of paper, and I wanted to write this down because it's pretty important, and I think it's pretty good. This gives hints as to what's going to happen in the story. So here we go. I don't think I missed any details on this. "Moon above shines first, the beast internally shall outward burst. One by one leads lambs to slaughter. It stalks your breath, but shunts clear water. And should you yourself be cursed, armed with silver, end the first. When moon is full before its wane, rend the beast that cursed you slain. No longer shall you face your blight, or fear the dread of the full moon's light. And if it's a bite with which you're faced, cleave limb from torso with great haste. Perchance you'll save your cursed soul before infection takes toll." So pretty much what some of that is saying is, you know, if you get bit by a werewolf, and if you are able to take that werewolf out with silver, and while the full moon is still out, you're gonna be fine. And that's if, you know, this is werewolves we're talking about. So, and yeah, so, and if you end up getting bit, because remember, Dylan got bit on the hand earlier, and as Ryan, we cut his hand off in time, so that initially saved Dylan from infection. I think all that's great, and some of this pretty much all of it's gonna pretty much come into play as we speak, or it has already came into play. And I didn't want to get any of that wrong, so I did write that down, and I just thought that's a great reading for this story. Like I said, I really love this game here. It's a really great game. And let's see, we had already talked about we didn't mean to hurt anybody. Okay, here we go. Sometime later, Chris Hackett shows up wanting to see Laura and Max, and it's revealed right here that Chris Hackett was indeed the werewolf that night where Max got bit. So yeah, Chris Hackett bit Max in the prologue, and it now makes sense why Laura is looking for Chris Hackett. So, you know, obviously Travis Hackett, it's pretty clear why he didn't want them to go to the camp that Pacific night, because he was obviously protecting Chris Hackett in the basement, and he knew that's where they were going to be. And sure, he did what he did was very messed up by knocking someone out, but he had Travis Hackett. He's what he was doing was pretty bad, but it's a weird situation as to why he's doing it. Hey, my brother's a werewolf, and man, you know what? I ended up really liking the character Travis Hackett throughout, and so they find out, Laura and Max find out that Chris is a werewolf, the same werewolf that bit Max. So they make a plan to get out, and depending on your choices, if you found a syringe, you can knock Travis out while escaping. I took the more, peaceful route in this situation, and when it was time to escape, I just pretty much was able to take Travis's gun. I know that doesn't sound, but trust me, where I'm going with it, it's the more, the better of the two. Anyway, I took his gun and forced him to be in the cell that we were in, and just locked him in there and just left him unharmed, as opposed to knocking him out with a syringe like he did to us earlier. And so they find this room with this duffel bag full of clothes and silver bullets that are just regular shotgun shells, but Travis put silver shells in the shotgun shells. So Max and Laura take that stuff and they head out, and that's pretty much where chapter 7 ends, just about. And it's revealed that that werewolf from earlier that Emma let out of the tree house was Max in werewolf form. So Laura ends up going, she explains where she thought that she shot Chris Hackett earlier, where she ended up shooting his daughter. At first, she thought that she shot Chris Hackett, so she went back to the island to see if Max was, turned back into a human. And, that's a little bit after Emma had let Werewolf Max out. So, cutscene plays pretty much. In this cutscene, we don't get to see it very often. I mean, very clearly, I should say. During that cutscene, Laura runs into Werewolf Max. So she's running away from him, not trying to kill him because she knows it's Max. But, he's a werewolf, so he doesn't have any control, obviously. And he ends up biting her on the arm. And I chose to actually reveal the bite to Ryan and Dylan and all the others at the pool house. And that's pretty much where chapter 7 ends. I will definitely get to chapter 8 as soon as possible. Like I said, I really did have a lot to discuss there. So, yeah, we'll definitely see where that goes when we get to chapter 8. And that's, I don't think I forgot anything, but if I did forget anything, I'll definitely put it in the edits. And that is going to do it for this one. I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by and for your continued support. Or if you're new, welcome in for the first time. All of you are very awesome, and I thank you again. And don't forget to hit the bell and switch on all notifications so you know the second I upload to YouTube. I am Beak, and I'm gonna go fly away back to my nest. Until next time, bye guys. I just had to say that Chapter 7 actually doesn't end with Laura revealing her werewolf bite. Chapter 7 actually ends to reveal where Jacob and that one werewolf that the hunters captured earlier, they're revealed to be in this electrified fence with this old woman taunting the werewolf. That's how we find out that they're behind an electrical gate when he actually tries to go to bite her and he gets shocked. The werewolf, that is. And that's how Chapter 7 ends. Now, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go.